loosen tower. The sacred 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 loosen the sacred Nusantara.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greeting and a warm welcome to ISRM 2023. I am Ahmad Fauzi, Director of UPN Veteran Jawa Timur. Today, we convene for the International Seminar of Research Month, centered around the theme Empowering Technology Industry and Global Business for Sustainable Development Goal. This event serves a global platform for distinguished thinkers, scholars, and leaders to spread valuable insight and innovative solutions. To the participants who cannot join the session offline, please note that you can join the seminar via Zoom and YouTube, ensuring that knowledge knows no geographical boundaries. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to our esteemed speaker, sponsor, and all contributors who have played a pivotal role in making this event a reality. Let us collectively shape ISRM 2023 as a catalyst for inspiration and a driver of positive change. Salam bela negara from UPN Veteran Jawa Timur. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This event, Professor Dr. Insinyur Razak Abdul Hadi from Kuala Lumpur University, Malaysia, Professor Tri Agus Siswoyo, MAGR, PhD from Jember University, Professor Jacob Barkuzen from University of Limpopo, South Africa, and Dr. Siva Ramamurthy, PhD, FLS, FSRB, FRSC from Philor Institute of Technology, India. And to all of our beloved audience, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed participants. A very welcome to all of you joining us today for International Seminar of Research Month 2023 with the theme Empowering Technology, Industrial and Global Business for Accelerating Sustainable Development Goals. My name is Fatima Zara, and it is my absolute honor to serve as your Master of Ceremony for this enlightening event. Before we start our agenda, let's watch an amazing performance, the traditional dance. Please welcome Gandrung Kembang Menur.
wis wayahe awak rekote salam penghormatan sulung yo wadon. Tarik suarane awak riko wadon. Yo salam penghormatan Jon ambi tamu undangan muga-muga awak riko selamat kabeh yo wadon. Selamat kabeh awak riko wadon.
Ya
to Gandung Kembang Menur. And firstly, I would like to say the utmost gratitude towards God for leading us together in today's event with good and stable state of health. Before we continue our agenda, let's pray together, which will be led by Mr. Muhammad Muharram Al-Haramaini MCom.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Marilah kita berdoa dulu sebelum acara dimulai. Semoga pada acara hari ini, SRM tahun ini diberikan kelancaran dan juga keberkahan. Saya akan memimpin dalam Islam. Mohon yang lain dapat menyesuaikan. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Alhamdulillah bil amin. Hamdan syakirin hamdan na'amin. Hamdan yafi ni'amah wa yakafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalalik wajhikal karim wa azimil sultanik. Allahumma ighfir lana dzunubana wa li walidina warhamhuma kama rabbayana shaghira. Allahumma arinal haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arinal batilan batilan warzuqna ijtinabah. Allahumma inna nas'alukal huda wa tuqa wal afa wa ghina. Allahumma ij'alna wa auladana wa talamidana wa talamidatina min ahli al-ilmi wa ahli al-khair wa la taj'alna wa iyyahum min ahli syarri wal dhair. Allahumma ij'al hadhil jam'iyah UPN Veteran Jawa Timur jam'iyah mubarakah wan najah innaka sami'u du'a. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad sahil wa yasir ma ta'assar sahil wa yasir ma ta'assar sahil wa yasir ma ta'assar. Allahumma yassir lana umurana umurad dunya wal akhirah wa hasil maqasidana wa hasil maqasidana wa hasil maqasidana. Rabbana atina min ladunka rahmah wa hayyi' lana min amrina rasyada. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Wassallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Muharram, for leading the prayer. And now let's sing National Anthem Indonesia Raya, followed by Mars Bela Negara. To all respectable participants, I kindly ask you to please stand up. Thank you, and now the audience may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the chairman of International Seminar of Research Month 2023, Dr. Rida Perwitasari, SE, MAK, AK, CA, CPA, CIP, SAS, to please come to the stage to deliver the speech.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, selamat pagi. The Honorable Rector of UPN Veteran Jawa Timur, Profesor Dr. Insinyur Ahmad Fauzi, MMT IPU. The Honorable First Vice Rector UPN Veteran Jawa Timur, Profesor Ais Nurul Hidayah, STMT PhD. The Honorable Third Vice Rector UPN Veteran Jawa Timur, Dr. Luman Arif, MSI. The Honorable Head of Institute of Research and Community Services, Dr. Insinyur Roshida Priyadarsini, MP. The Honorable Keynote Speaker, Profesor Dr. Indrawati Yuhertiana, MMAK, CA, CMA, SIPSAS, and the speakers of ESRM 2023, Profesor Dr. Abdul Razak Abdul Hadi from UNIKL, Malaysia, Profesor Tri Agus Siswoyo, PhD from Universitas Jember, Indonesia, Profesor Dr. Siva Ramamurti, PhD, FLS, FRSP, FRSC from Vellore Institute of Technology, India, Prof. Jacob Berkhuizen from University of Limpopo, South Africa, all lecturers, presenters, and participants of ESRM 2023 Universitas Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Jawa Timur. I welcome all of you to International Seminar of Research Month 2023 that's held by UPN Veteran Jawa Timur. This is 8 years of ESRM bring up the topic empowering technology, industrial and global business for accelerating sustainable development goals, which has received great attention. I would like to express my highest gratitude and appreciation to the speakers, MC, moderators, lecturers, and online participants who attended today in this agenda. I believe that this event will be resource innovation, ideas, concept, and breakthrough the development of technology in all aspects in the future, especially in Indonesia. This seminar will be divided into 2 days, Tuesdays and Wednesday, 10 and 11 October 2023. This year, we have accepted with wide range of topics that are ready to be presented in this seminar, and we will really hope we can get new insight from this topic. We have 11 representatives from many universities and attended by approximately 200 participants today. This seminar will not be able organized without the support from the various parties. Therefore, I want to express my graduates especially thanks for organizing committee for their smart work, perseverance and patience in the preparing and organizing the event. So, there is it can go well, smoothly, and successfully. Finally, through the ISRM 2023, let us extended the network and cooperating among all stakeholders in university in Indonesia. Thank you, terima kasih, matur suwun, salam bela negara. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for your inspiring words, Dr. Rida. And now I invite Professor Dr. Insinyur Ahmad Fauzi, MMT IPU, to the stage to deliver his speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Vice Rector of UPN Veteran Jawa Timur, Head of the Institute of Research and Community Service, Dr. Rosida Biladarsini. Thank you. Chief of ISRM 2023, Dr. Rida Hurtasari. Our guest speaker today, Prof. Abdul Razak Abdulhadi from University of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Thank you. Profesor Tri Agus Siswoyo dari Universitas Jember, terima kasih Prof. kehadirannya. Profesor Jaco Barkuizen, University of Limpopo, South Africa. Profesor Siva Ramamurti, Fellow Institute of Technology India. Thank you, for coming in Kampus Bela Negara UPN Veteran Jawa Timur. And all presenter and participant, good morning and warm welcome to the International Seminar of Resettlement 2023. I am truly delighted to stand before you today as the Rector UPN Veteran Jawa Timur and extend my sincere gratitude to all the participants, esteemed guests, and organizers who have come together to make this event possible. This year, theme of ISRM is empowering technology, industrial and global business for accelerating sustainable development goal. In a world with many challenges from climate change to socio-economic gap, the need for innovative solution and collaborative effort has never been greater. Today we gather not only as researcher and academic, but as global citizen committed to driving possible change. Our shared goals is to harness the power of technology, industry, and global business to accelerate progress towards the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, SDGs. This goal serves as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all. The seminar covers this topic, including engineering, agriculture, economic, education, language learning, and many more. In the future, it is expected the topic and the themes of the seminar will be more varied and broader. To the participants of the seminar who cannot join the session offline today, you can join the seminar via Zoom and YouTube. I would also likes to express my greatest gratitude for your contribution, researcher, academician, student, professional, and participant who take part in ISRM 2023. Lastly, through this ISRM 2023, let us deepen our insight, network, and values across the study field in this seminar. Have a great time and discussion. Good luck, and by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I officially open to the seminar. Thank you. Allahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Professor Dr. Insinyur Ahmad Fauzi for your inspiring speech. In this opportunity, we also have MOU signing session that will be conducted desk to desk, involving 11 universities. Universitas PGRI Adi Buwana, Universitas Nusa Cendana, Universitas Islam Negeri Kiai Haji Ahmad Siddiq Jember, Universitas Negeri Surabaya, Akademi Akuntansi Effendi Harahap Semarang, Universitas Riau, Institut Bisnis Nusantara, Universitas 17 Agustus Samarinda, Universitas Islam Balitar, Universitas 17 Agustus Semarang, dan Universitas Wiraraja Madura. And now please join me in welcoming our esteemed keynote speaker to deliver her speech. To Professor Dr. Indrawati Yuhertiana, MM, AK, CA, CMA, CRP, SAS, to please come to the stage. Thank you to Professor Dr. Insinyur Ahmad Fauzi.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Excellency, the honor speaker that join us today, Professor Dr. Razak Abdul Hadi from UNIKL Malaysia, and then Professor Dr. Tri Agustiswoyo from Universitas Jember, and of course Dr. Siva Ramamuti from Vellore Institute of Technology India, Professor Dr. Jeko Barkhuizen, University of Limpopo, South Africa, and of course to all of you, the participant of International Seminar Research Month 2023. I'm very pleased today to take part of the important international seminar. This is my second opportunity to be here after the last opportunity that LPPN gave me to give speech before COVID on 2019 with the topic of the society fifth. The society fifth. Today, I think we are agreed that the topic of International Seminar of Research Month is very important, interesting, and urgent. Yes, it is questioning about the role of technology, industry, and global business to accelerate sustainability development goal. Thank you to Ms. MC that have introduced myself, and I want to add some information about my activity and the SDG. Maybe the committee can help for the next slide. Yeah. Recently, I am involved in SDG 4. We know that Sustainability Development Goal exists for 17 SDG, and same with all of you, all the participants. I think we have the same profession as lecturer. We are in education, so actually we have involved support the SDG 4 in equality education. And then I am also involved in SDG 1. SDG 1 is about the goal no poverty. I think we as lecturer in Indonesia have an obligation to have community services, and in the last community services that I have been done, I am collaborate with Pusat Studi Ekonomi Sosial UPN Veteran Jawa Timur and the Surabaya local government, Dinas DP2AKB, have collaboration program to empower women of Surabaya city to enhance their competency in economically. So and then I am also involved in SDG 11. SDG 11 is related with governance, how to enhance the city, because I have voluntarily appointed as the neighborhood United Chief in Indonesia, Ketua RT 8 RW 2 Kalisari Mulyorejo. So this is my activity that relate with the implementation of SDG. I think all of you here also, if you try to find one from 17 the SDG, I'm sure that you have a certain, at least in SDG 4, for the quality education. So that is my information about my activity and SDG. And now I want to talk about what should we do in the world today, 2023, while we have a half pathway from the first when the SDG declared on 2015. I want to remind you first. I'm afraid that you forget, or there is something that you still do not familiar with the SDG. As all we know, Pak Rektor also said that the SDG actually is the commitment of the United Nations, initiated by United Nations, that all of the country in the world have to end the poverty. The SDG itself, the leader of the world agreed, declare, that commit that the SDG will be achieved on 2030. So the sustainability development goals are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenge we face, including those related to poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace and justice. Yeah, thank you. This is my pointer of my presentation about the SDG. The what, why, who, and when, I just inform you a little, and then I will inform you that how is the progress, and then how to accelerate, related with the role of the technology industry and the global business, and fourth, the role of higher education, including what we should do, and the last, of course, the conclusion. And then now, after we know about what is SDG, SDG is the commitment to end the poverty all over the world. Who have the commitment? All of the country. Actually, on 2015 there are 193 countries that declare and sign the commitment to achieve the SDG on 2030. And now we also know how to achieve the SDG. There are 5 pillars of the SDG. People involve SDG 1 until 5, planet SDG 13 until 15, prosperity SDG 6 until 12, peace SDG 16, and partnership SDG 17. Yeah, that's all of summary about the SDG. And then How about today? We are now at 2023. How is the progress? We can go to the next slide. Yeah. In the slide, we can see that. I hope it's clear. You can see it clearly. But if don't, I will describe that. This is the report of the SDG goal on 2023. As you know, and from J1 is it means that the goal 1, the goal 1, SDG 1, SDG 2 until SDG 17. We saw that the green color is limited. So it means that actually the progress of the implementation of the SDG today is not on the track. So it is not a good news actually today, because only the data said that the SDG only demonstrated that just 12% of the accessible SDG targets are on track. So it is severe. Yeah? So it's not good news, I think, because we only have 7 years left to achieve the goal. 7 years more. Now we are on a halfway. So do you think that the goal is so ambitious, or what? Or because in the journey, in the road, why we from the declaration on 2015, it is many something happened, and yes, we know that the most impacted, I mean that pandemic have so much impacted for all of the countries, and after the pandemic, and now we evaluate. So there are many goals, and 17 goals that not achieved yet. So what should we do? Yeah, this is the information about the index, the SDG index. In this year, the SDG World Rank is in European continent. So there are European country for the first highest rank in SDG: Finlandia, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, and Austria. There are 5 highest SDG country for all of the world. And how about ASEAN? ASEAN, the first rank is Thailand, and then the second Vietnam, Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Indonesia, in the world rank, we have 75 world rank, and Malaysia, Parasak, in 78 rank in the world position of SDGs. The condition from the website of United Nations of the evaluation and this year. So now I think we are all agreed that the topic of the seminar today is very important, very relevant, and I think it's very urgent. How we can push to achieve the SDG at 2030, 7 years more, can we get the target? I think we imagine, yeah, actually what is the target on 2030? Do you imagine what is our surrounding? Because I'm a grandma, and I think 7 years ago later I will be 63, and my grandchildren now he is at kindergarten. 7 years later he will be on elementary school. So do we sure that we will have peace on 2030? Yeah, the world is changing. We know VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. Sometimes it makes us afraid of the future. But in this seminar, we will discuss about how we can achieve, how we can push ourselves, our collaboration to get together, achieve the SDG on 2030. I will discuss a little the topic about the technology. What is the role of the technology and the business and industry? You know, technology is very, very important. Not just important, because technology have changed us, have changed our life. We know that AI is become the maybe it can be used, and I'm sure that it will be used to make to enhance the way to get the better world. We can use AI for decision making, and then we can also we are all know that Internet of Things, IoT devices can be employed to monitor and manage resource more effectively. And in some I noticed some research that have been conducted by a colleague from technique faculty or agriculture faculty. They have been make the topic about smart agriculture, and the friend from public administration also have mentioned about investigate about the services of smart cities with the technology. And then the industry and global business. What is the role of industry and global business? I think Pak Razak can, and Pak Prof. Tri Agus could make it deeper about the role of the industry and global business. But in my opinion, all of industry, all of global business must concern with how the product can impact with in sustainability. My core expertise is in accounting. In accounting, now we enhance the financial reporting not only for the traditional use for how to report the profit on and loss like traditional one, no, but now in accounting also we make an ESG, environmental, social, and governance report in the that it will be more better to add those kind of the report in the whole of the entity reporting. So not only the profit and loss, but also the ESG, environmental, social, and governance. Maybe it calls also with CSR, corporate social responsibility. So I think not only the topic from the technology, and then from friend from the agriculture, from technique that have topic in research to enhance the environment, the green environment, the waste management, but we are in the social, economic, and business too, also impact, also have explore our knowledge to make that relevant with SDG. And then how about the role of how to enhance, how to accelerate? There is an information from the United Nations. As you know that last month on September, there are SDG summit. The leader of the world committed that there have a transformation, and at least there are 5 transformation that are agree, all of the leader in this meeting agree of the important point of transformation. First, enhance global collaboration. Government and global stakeholders should work together to enhance collaboration in achieving the SDG. And second, innovation in achieving the SDG should focus on solution, including new technology and practices. Third, environmental sustainability. The discussion about environmental sustainability, including effort to address climate change and the protection of natural resources, should be more and more. Fourth, have to increase financing for sustainability development. It is need to discuss the financing issue that support project related to the SDG. And the fifth, civil and private society participation. It should that strengthening the role of civil society and the private sector to implementation of the SDG. Yeah. So, how about us? How about us? I'm sure that all of us that attend this seminar, that you are in this room, I'm sure that you are all lecturer, you are all academia. What should we do? What should the higher education institution should relate with the fact that the target of SDG is on not the track? How should we do about those fact? I'm actually there are already evaluation to university that have been implement SDG. Yeah. The ranking it's done by Time Higher Education. In this website, there is evaluation special to university that have been implemented SDG. For the world first ranking, it's come from Australia. The Western Sydney University in Australia. That is the first rank university that have been implemented SDG. And how about in Indonesia? There are some university that have enrolled in those Time Higher Education ranking, and three best of SDG rank in Indonesia are Universitas Indonesia, Universitas Airlangga, and Universitas Gadjah Mada. Yeah. And actually, what is the indicator that used to evaluate the SDG? Yeah, in this research that correlate with SDG implementation and higher education, actually there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 things that relate with SDG implementation. The first one is teaching. Teaching, I do not exactly know, but I'm sure in all of program study, I'm sure that it must be a subject that relate with the SDG. In accounting, there are subject of corporate social responsibility, and now we are also have green accounting. I'm not sure in UPN, but it is a subject that teach in some university about green accounting. And then research and campus operation and community engagement, vision and mission. Yeah, those 5 indicator is relate with the implementation of the SDG in university or higher education. And by the way, how about UPN? I have asked Pak Zainal Abidin yesterday and Bu Wahyu about the implementation. They informed me. Luckily, we have to thank that this year the research roadmap of research and community service office-nya Bu Uci have been implement the 7 SDG in their roadmap. And I also observe that there are some topic that relate with the SDG. For example, about carbon footprint, and I cannot. Can you read it? No, but I'm truly certain that what we do in UPN actually, if we mapping it, we would found that we have deep have the topic of the SDG. Yeah, Pak Jainal told me on the research roadmap that by 2020, most community service programs are focused on health and economic development. This is a form of UPN VGT response to COVID-19 pandemic that began in early 2020, and its impact is felt throughout the Indonesia territory. The ministers descended directly into several regions with various programs that were expected to alleviate the impact the community felt, the best treatment in the midst of the pandemic situation. LPPM has been implemented from 2015 to 2022. The public service program can be grouped into the schema, namely IPTEX for the society and UPN Serve. UPN Serve, UPN Mengabdi. Yeah, I think it's a part of our action to achieve the SDG. In addition to following the policy of UPN Jawa Timur, the management system has been pursued in accordance with the government policy and refers to the 17 goals of the SDG. Yeah, we are glad, we are happy because our roadmap at UPN have included SDG. And then the fifth indicator of the implementation of the SDG is the vision. How about our vision? UPN Vision is menjadi kampus unggul berkarakter bela negara. Do you think SDG is related with bela negara? Yeah, of course. Yeah, SDG similar with the global goal, but the value I think is similar with the 5 value of bela negara. So maybe the difference is because of the SDG relate with the global context. Bela negara is more Indonesia national context, but the value I think is the same. The spirit is the same. There are such principles such as community well-being, social cohesion, and civil responsibility. So I think community well-being is relate bela negara and the SDG. Bela Negara also emphasizes the importance of citizens in contributing the overall welfare of the nation. And also Bela Negara is related with civic responsibility. It's also the spirit of the SDG. Both the SDG and Bela Negara involve a sense of civic responsibility, citizen responsibility. The SDGs encourage individuals and communities to take action to achieve sustainable development, while Bela Negara calls for active participation in the defense and development of the nation. And the third, environmental sustainability. Some of the SDGs, particularly those that related to climate action and environmental sustainability, may align with the broader concept of protecting the nation, including its natural resources. A strong and sustainable nation in the context of Bela Negara could involve responsible stewardship of the environment. Yes, I think I will make a simple conclusion. Yes, SDG is not baik-baik saja. In the half pathway of the SDG, the target only 12% targeted, so it is severe off track. Now, what should we do? So, it is needed the active participation, the action for all of the stakeholders, for all of us, not only the leader, the global leader, the United Nations leader, the global leader, the president of the countries, the minister, the governor, not only them, but also us, the leader. In our family maybe, I think we can do something to achieve the SDG. Yes, I think, I hope that my speech could inspire us to take a part for achieving the SDG. So, the closing is, don't just think, make an action, and be part of the solution. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Indrawati, for the presentation. And now let us begin by extending a warm welcome to each and every one of you. We are honored to have you join us for this crucial conversation about harnessing the power of technology, industry, and global business to drive forward the sustainable development goals. As we embark on this journey together, I encourage you to engage actively, ask questions, and share your insights throughout the day. Now, without further ado, let's get started with our first session. It's now time to hear from our speakers, and the following event will be guided by our moderators, Ms. Dwi Wahyuning Tias, SPD MA, and Ms. Rahmawati, SPI MSc. Before that, I will read their CVs. Ms. Dwi Wahyuning Tias, SPD MA. She is currently teaching English for Business and Professional Communication study program at UPN Veteran Jawa Timur. Ms. Dwi Wahyuning Tias completed her undergraduate studies at the University of Muhammadiyah Malang, majoring in English education from 2009 to 2013, where she honed her skills and knowledge in the field of English language education. Following her undergraduate studies, Ms. Dwi Wahyuning Tias continued her academic journey by pursuing a master's degree at Victoria University of Wellington, specializing in teaching English to speakers of other languages from 2016 to 2017. And we also have Ms. Rahmawati, SPI MSc. Ms. Rahmawati completed her undergraduate studies at IPB University in Indonesia, specializing in aquatic product technology within the Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Sciences. She pursued her bachelor's degree from 2010 to 2014, where she gained a strong foundation in the field. Building upon her undergraduate education, Ms. Rahmawati continued her academic pursuits by pursuing a master's degree at Wageningen University and Research in the Netherlands. She enrolled in the master program of food safety with a specialization in applied food safety from 2017 to 2019. And now please welcome Ms. Dwi Wahyuning Tias, SPD, MA, and Ms. Rahmawati, SPI, MSc, as our moderator. To Ms. Dwi Wahyuning Tias and Ms. Rahmawati, the stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming. We are so happy and honored to have you in this ASRM 2023, which is held by LPPM Universitas Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Jawa Timur. First of all, the honorable guests and speakers today in today's international seminar, we are so happy to have you here and really hope that you can share the insights and knowledge to all of audiences here. So we really expect that the audiences here pay attention to the materials that will be presented by the speakers. And good morning and welcome to the International Seminar of Research Month 2023, ISRM. I am Dwi Wahyuning Tias, your moderator for the first session of today's discussion. We are so happy and thrilled to have you. Before we delve into today's enlightening discussion, let me briefly outline what's in store for you. Our first speaker today is Professor Dr. Abdul Razak bin Abdul Hadi. Professor? Okay, time is yours. Okay. Yes, can please take a seat here. Thank you. Okay, Professor, how are you? Okay, welcome to Indonesia, welcome to East Java, welcome to UPN Veteran Jawa Timur.
Yes, so it's good to be on Java Island again, yeah?
Okay, this is your first time or second time in East Java?
I think 2023, this is my third time.
A third time?
Yeah.
Okay, what was your first time?
I think sometime in March.
Oh, in March. Okay, we are so happy to have you here, Professor. Hope you enjoy the moment and time at UPN Veteran Jawa
Every
Timur.
second.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me read his curriculum vitae first. So, Professor Dr. Abdul Razak bin Abdul Hadi is currently the Deputy Dean of Internationalization, Institutional and Industrial Partnerships at University Kuala Lumpur. He lectures and researches in the areas of financial markets, corporate finance, investment, banking, and entrepreneurship. He is also an advisor to several small-medium enterprises in Malaysia. As a recognized specialist in finance, he has been appointed as a member of the scientific committee for both international and local conferences. He is an active member in the Malaysian Finance Association, or MFA, and the Asian Academy of Management, or AAM. He has written and published over 75 research articles in journals and conference proceedings. His educations are BB in Finance, magna cum laude from Western Illinois University, USA, and graduated in 1996. And also MA in Economics from Western Illinois University, USA in 1998. And the last one is PhD in Finance, University of Technology Mara, and graduated in 2007. Her editorial board memberships are Chief Editors, ASEAN International Business Conference from 2014 to present, Local Committee Chair, International Conference on Education, Psychology, and Social Sciences, or ICEPS in 2016, Local Committee Chair, International Conference on Business, Information and Tourism, or ICBIT in 2016. Among his awards and honors are Visiting Professor at Universitas Islam Bandung, or Unisba, Indonesia in November 2022, Lead Researcher, Islamic Finance Research Cluster, UNIKL Business School in January 2019 to present, Advisor in Pertumbuhan Usahawan Otomotif Malaysia in August 2019 to present, an external advisor DBA program at Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation, Malaysia from 2020 to 2022, and many more. So, Professor, without further ado, I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Abdul Razak to deliver the presentation about disruptive change, creative economy, and sustainability. Am I right? Okay. Professor, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. So let's quickly take a look at the slides here. So I need to turn around my neck here. I'm not so sure what will be the comfortable. Yeah? Can I sit over there? All right, thank you. Okay, let's quickly start this session. Yeah, okay, this is my topic today: disruptive change. Okay, and I'll be talking about the creative economy and sustainability, business sustainability. Okay, next slide, please. All right, it's quite a handful content, as you can see. Okay, I will define what is disruptive change, creative economy, understanding change and strategic management. I think I better stand up then. Yeah. Okay, business challenge, human capital development. This is very important, number 5. Human capital development, which involve skill sets and creativity, quality management, customer relationship management. It's pretty much a blend between a system, economic system, and business management itself. Okay, so at the end, what we want is, of course, part of the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, that is to create sustainable businesses, sustainable industry. So as mentioned by Prof. Indra just now, we have all these 17 SDGs, and of course SDG number 12. If you can recall SDG number 12 or SDG number 9, I'm not so sure. I think SDG number 9. SDG number 9 talk about industry, infrastructure, and innovation. Okay, so we will cover most of this SDG number 9 in this topic. Okay, let's quickly take a look at the gist of it. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is DC? Yeah, DC is not Disney Channel. Yeah? DC is destructive change. Yeah. Okay, next slide. Okay, that is the definition, the best definition that I can give today. Yeah? So companies operate in an increasingly complex world. Yeah, a very complex world where business environment are diverse, business environment is very dynamic, so everything is interconnected thanks to IoT, Internet of Things, okay, and very much things is going to be less predictable. Yeah, you cannot predict, you cannot be certain what's going to happen next. Yeah, just take a look what happened the last 3 days. So who can imagine is something blown up in the Middle East, right? Yeah, suddenly Hamas invaded Israel, something that no one can think of, but it just happened. Yeah, so things are pretty much less predictable. Yeah, the global events is getting very volatile. Yeah? And of course, in business, unpredictability is a challenge. Yeah, when businesses is dealing with something. Some element of unpredictability, yeah, unpredictable element, things gonna be tough. Okay, and this is the situation today, yeah, the environment, the business environment today, yeah? And of course, okay, as far as sustainability is concerned, as far as SDG is concerned, okay, company must transform, yeah, quickly transform, okay, quickly adapt, quickly adopt. Okay, some good strategies. Okay, so we take a look at this gentleman, yeah, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Tony Fernandez, Jack Ma. Okay, of course, with exception to Jack Ma, because today, as you can see, yeah, Jack Ma is, where is Jack Ma? Suddenly is missing, right? Yeah, so that is what I call unpredictability. Yeah, yeah, sometimes can't even predict, yeah. Okay, and someone suddenly just whoosh, yeah, disappeared. Yeah. So looking at those gentlemen, what have they done to the world? I think they have contributed significantly, yeah, in businesses. Okay, if you look at Tony Fernandez, yeah. So AirAsia, even though we got problem with AirAsia, you know, the flight always delayed. But we have a better choice, yeah, of course. Yeah, if you have more money, then you can take Garuda Airlines, okay, or Lion Air, right? But at least AirAsia connects, yeah, successfully connects our Asian region. Okay, if you look at Apple, yeah, the late Steve Jobs have done a good job. He started Apple, okay, restarted Apple, and today Apple is one of the key players in IoT. Yeah. So understanding DC, yeah, they start to change. Yeah. So recent studies suggest 75% of the S&P 500 companies, yeah, turn over in the next 15 years. Yeah. So majority of these S&P 500 companies, yeah, 500 companies, these are big companies. Yeah. Okay, they turn over. Turn over means they have to transform. Yeah. Because if you fail to transform, you fail to adapt to changes, then you'll be left out. Okay, so this is important. Yeah. So those businesses that have done same thing again and again for years, they'll be affected by this DC. Yeah. Why? Because everything changed. As you can see here, yeah, the economy changed, yeah, competition changed, product changed, technology changed, customer change, employee change. You look at that, everything changed. So the only choice we have is we got to adapt to changes, blend into it, yeah, adopt strategies that you can blend, yeah, with these changes. Okay, so sustaining business, yeah, sustaining business is about strategies. Okay, sustaining business is about SDG. Okay, so the ability of the organization to sustain the business, they have to adapt to the changing environment, and they have to adopt, okay, changes. So now you can see, yeah, the CM comes in, change management. Yeah, so change management is part of the elements, yeah, one of the strategies, yeah, in sustainability. Okay, I'm talking about my experience. Yeah, I started my career as a banker. Yeah, I worked in the bank a couple of years. So I have seen companies that have a lot of problems. Okay, so of course, being a bank, you have to make sure that your bank makes money. Okay, and at the same time, you have to make sure your clients, yeah, optimize the fund for sustainability. So this is basically how I see businesses. Yeah? So you have to select a good business that can last. Okay, next slide. Okay, let's take a look at these 6 companies. What happened to them? Yeah, they have been heavily disturbed, yeah, by the changing economic dynamics. Yeah, what happened to this company, Kodak? Yeah, Kodak is long gone. Yeah, Blockbuster Videos. Yeah, what happened to this company? People don't rent out videos, yeah, to watch movies. Yeah, this company is gone. Borders Bookstore is gone. Yeah, this sub company, a Swedish company, this is also gone. Jessup, gone. Nickerman, gone. So all these companies become dinosaur. It's no longer there. Yeah, it's no longer there. Okay, they have been seriously disrupted by the changing business environment. Okay, so next slide. Okay, in Malaysia, so this company have been severely disrupted as well. Okay, MAS, Malaysia Airlines. Yeah, so Malaysia Airlines has gone through a number of bailouts. Yeah, I think today they are doing okay, I hope. Okay, so this industrial product, Pewaja Steel, yeah, it's gone. Yeah, this finance company, MDF Finance, is gone. Silverstone is gone. Stone Master is gone. Yeah, so all these companies long gone. Okay, simply because they are not efficient. They are very much debt laden. Yeah, they cannot sustain the business. So wind up, gone. Okay. So that's why today you can see Malaysia Airlines, yeah, the logo is different. It's no longer in that color, red and blue. It's in a gray color now. Okay, a new entity. Okay, next slide. Okay, what is creative economy? I think this one is interesting. Yeah, so economy which is based on novel imaginative qualities. Yeah, so this is a new definition of economy. Yeah, the economy of today, yeah? Creative economy. Yeah, where it takes this dynamic, yeah, novel imaginative qualities that come from human beings. So the human capital is the key here. Yeah, focuses on capitalizing creativity. Yeah. So capitalizing creativity. So the capital, the key enabler here is creativity. Okay, throughout the entire economy. Okay, so the creative economy can offer what we call a more feasible development option, okay, to all countries. So this is a new option for developing countries. But actually not only developing countries, yeah, the developed countries, the developed economy is also capitalizing on creativity, yeah, this creative economy. Okay, so this is the statement made by UNTAC, yeah, United Nations Conference for Trade and Development. Okay, this is another unit under United Nations. Yeah. So UNTAC says that creative economy is one of the key economy that can help create economic growth, yeah, especially in developing economy or developing countries. So next slide. Okay, so creative economy leads to creative industries. And creative industries will generate revenues. Yeah, economy with some new stream of revenues. Okay, so you can see that international trade in creative goods, yeah, creative services, yeah, generate increasing revenue for both developed and developing countries. So whereby the creative services is the dominant factor. Okay, so basically the creative economy is driven by these two. Okay, creative products and creative services. But the creative services is more important than the creative products. Okay, it's not so much of the product these days. Yeah, it's more on services. Yeah, getting the people, yeah, the human factor involved in the creative economy. So again, this is the statement made by UNTAC, yeah, 2020. Okay, next slide. Look at these statistics, yeah, in 2020. Yeah. So the global exports of creative goods, yeah, from 2010 to 2020 increased by only 25%. Yeah, but if you look at export of creative services, yeah, over this period, yeah, so you can see increase from 487 billion to 1.1 trillion US dollar. So this is an increase of more than 100%, 126%. So it's a significant increase in creative services. Yeah, creative services, which is part of creative economy. Okay, so the key success to this creative economy is basically the human factor. Okay, so it boils down to how creative are we in generating creative services. Yeah, and of course, as far as university is concerned, so how do universities create or help support creative industries? Well, human capital training. Yeah, when the university engage in human capital development, automatically the university serve this. Yeah, this important factor. Yeah, so servicing, okay, the creative economy with managing human factor. So human capital development and talent management is extremely important. Yeah, human capital development and talent management. Yeah, understanding talent, developing the talent in people is very important. Okay, so that's why we started with that 5 gentlemen. Yeah, Bill Gates. Okay, what happened to him during his college years? So he was a university dropout. So are we blaming the university for him to drop out? And then what happened to Mark Zuckerberg? Another dropout. So are we blaming the university for his underachievement? So these are the questions, yeah. And of course they are creative people, yeah, no doubt about it. Okay, next. Okay, another interesting statistic by UNTAC. Yeah, China is the largest. Yeah, China is the largest exporter of creative goods, creative products. So we are talking about creative products, yeah, creative goods. We are talking about creative services. We are concentrating on creative goods. So China alone in 2020, yeah, contributed about 169 billion creative product, creative goods. So what are the goods? The one we bought from TikTok, the one we bought from online marketplace. Yeah, number 1, China. Number 2, United States. But you can see the figure, 169 billion to just 32 billion US dollar. Followed by Italy, 27 billion. Germany, 26, and Hong Kong, 24. But you got to remember, Hong Kong and China, they are together. They are under one government. Of course, China is a special administrative government, but China, Hong Kong, if you combine China and Hong Kong, that makes up almost 200 billion. So the Chinese are controlling these creative products. So the big question is, how did they do it? Creative economy. Okay, next. Okay, now creative services. Now when it comes to creative services, who is the champion? United States. Look at that. United States is the largest contributor, the largest player in these creative services. In 2020, so this creative economy, United States contributed 206 billion. Thanks to their movies. So we watch too many of Hollywood movies. Part of it is from Hollywood, US. We're talking about creative services. It's not just movies. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. It's about production, TV production, film making, publishing, advertising, R&D, and no doubt US, United States is the champion. Followed by Ireland. Can you imagine the Ireland second? So Ireland second largest, 174 billion from their creative industries. Followed by Germany, China. Now China fourth placing, number 4, 59 billion, and United Kingdom 57 billion. But again, US is the major contributor in this creative services. Okay. How does it relate? How do you relate this to sustainable growth, SDG, Sustainable Development Growth? Which one? SDG number? There are 17. So how do you relate this creative economy to the SDGs? It's pretty much related to SDG number 9. I'm talking about industry, infrastructure, and innovation. Okay, SDG number 9. Okay, next. Barriers. What are the challenges to this creative economy? Lack of fundamental skills, lack of digital infrastructure, trade restrictions, and so on. This is where the university, the role of the university comes in. Okay, higher institution comes in. The role of education institution comes in, training institution comes in, to provide the fundamental skills in creative economy. Turning the people into a creative factor, for the economy. Okay, infrastructure, of course, digital infrastructure, we need it. Okay, we have to make sure that the government support the IoT, Internet of Things agenda. Okay, so the internet broadband services infrastructure must be ready, and they should be fully operational. And of course, trade restriction, this is another challenge. Okay, because of course we understand, some economies, some countries, they try to protect their products. Okay, so that happens as well. But the key enablers to this creative economy, as you can see, is the technology. The Industrial Revolution 4.0 here is the key. Okay, significantly influence most of these creative industries. And again, yeah, we see the importance of human capital development and talent management. Yeah, so you need this. Yeah, human capital development and talent management. So we, the human factor, the most vulnerable, the most creative factor, in this universe, we have to step in and make our SDGs attainable. Okay, next. Now we come to change management. Now we get the people, okay, to adapt and adopt the strategies. Okay, so basically the change management is about, as you can see, responding to change, okay, so that you can create advantage, you can minimize your risks, okay, and you can sustain your performance. Okay, and again, SDG number 9. Okay, an organization must constantly reinvent themselves to remain competitive. Yeah, because when you are competitive, you are able to outperform your rivals, your competitors. Okay, and this is how you stay ahead of your competitors. Okay, chain management. So next. Okay, let's take a look at this company, the oldest company in the US. Yeah, DuPont Chemical, established in 1802. Is the company still around? Yes. So they last for more than 200 years. DuPont, Colgate. Do you still see Colgate? Yeah. So it lasts more than 200 years. Okay. Question is, what are their strategies? Okay. Citibank. Do you have Citibank in Indonesia? The bank still around? Yes, it lasts for more than 200 years. Remington, of course, here firearms is not, not in Indonesia, yeah. Clothing, Brooks Brothers, Levi's. I think you know Levi's, right? Levi's, yeah. Levi's established in 1850 something, yeah. But basically Levi's jeans survived for more than 150 years. Okay, so how many of them involved in creative economy? Creative products. Definitely Wiley. Yeah, Wiley publishing companies. I forgot to mention Wiley. Yeah? So this Wiley has been surviving more than 200 years. So have you ever bought books from Wiley publisher? See, Wiley is still around. Okay, so basically Wiley is pretty much in creative economy. Yeah, Brooks Brothers, Levi's, they are in creative products, and they survive. And of course Remington, so the world without violence is. I'm not saying that violence is associated with firearms, but you need a firearm for the sake of SDG as well. Okay, I do not know which SDG is pretty much related to firearms, but well, probably peace, governance, and something, more no enforcement side. All right, next slide, please. Okay, companies in Malaysia. Of course, in Malaysia, we started in early 60s. So those companies still around. Still around. Okay. Again, as you can see, those products are basically consumer product, finance. Okay, majority are consumer products. Because we know consumers. Consumers are consumers. They consume. But if you look at SDG number 12, SDG number 12 is about responsible production and consumption. So SDG 12 pretty much related to sustainability as well. Okay, responsible production. Okay, next slide. Okay, the 8 richest people in the world. But this one is in 2016. So 2016, Bill Gates was the richest man. Okay, followed by Ortega, Zara. So you know Zara? So the Zara products, yeah. So how do you see that? Creative economy, creative goods, yeah. So you can see, yeah, creative goods. Microsoft software is definitely creative services.
I'm sorry, Professor.
Yeah.
We have 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right. So 2016, Bill Gates, the richest. Next slide. 2019, who is the richest? 2 years later, Jeff Bezos, Amazon. Okay, still creative services. Okay, followed by Bill Gates. Okay, next. This year, 2023, richest is the owner of LV, Louis Vuitton. See? Mr. Bernard Arnault. So, whoever bought Louis Vuitton products, you support him to be richer and richer. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, his net worth 211 billion. That is a lot of money. Yeah? 211 billion US dollar net worth. Second, Elon Musk. And again, you can see the first two, they are dealing with creative economy. Yeah, creative economy. Okay, next. So strategic management, this is strategic management. Now you have to blend your chain management and strategic management. You have to come up with strategies. Okay, and your strategies is basically managing your business resources, your capital, human capital, products, okay, with your main objective to be or to remain competitive. Okay, next. Okay, business challenges. Okay, every entrepreneur must understand this. Okay, next. Okay, human capital development, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, so if you need your organization to sustain its performance, the first thing you got to do, take care of your human capital. Followed by number 2, next slide. Human capital would involve this skill. Okay, next slide. Okay, out of the skill, entrepreneur skill is the most important. Okay, next slide. Then motivation comes in. Why motivation is important? Motivation is the key towards triggering innovation and creativity. Only when you are motivated, yeah, then you will become something else. Okay, you become creative. Okay, the driver behind the innovation, creativity. Okay, next. Okay, so can you go back a bit? Can you go back? So there is a reason. No, go back up. Yeah, there is a reason why I put her in this slide. Yeah, she is actually a Brazilian. Yeah, from Brazil, very creative person. Yeah, she developed shampoo. Okay, to handle her problem with the hair. Okay, and she has been very successful with the shampoo products. But anyway, thanks. Okay, motivation. Why motivation is important? To trigger creativity. Okay, next. Quality management. From creativity, then you will see quality assurance. Yeah? Okay, next. Okay. So the QM is related to OB, yeah, organizational behavior. Okay. So when quality improvement require employee to rethink, then they will optimize resources. Ultimately, they will achieve organizational goals. Next. LV. Yeah, why LV is very successful? I think you can we already seen it. Yeah, the owner is the richest man today. Yeah, the richest man on planet today is the owner, Mr. Arnold. Yeah? So the key success is due to the CRM, customer relationship management.
I'm sorry, Professor.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
fine. Yes.
Okay, next.
Thank you.
Can I have concluding? Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
sure.
Can we conclude? Okay. Next. 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 Yeah. Actually, I have so much to share with you. Yeah? Next. 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 Yeah. Okay. This one, as you can see, yeah, the biggest company in the world in 2023 is Walmart, followed by Amazon and the oil and gas company. But number 5 is Apple. Okay. Next. Okay. The conclusion is business success or business sustainability subject to chain management, strategic management. You combine human capital development, quality management, CRM. They are basically the fundamentals. Yeah? Okay. So they work hand in hand. So next slide. Okay. This is a function of business management, technology. So capital is not the guarantee for business sustainability. Rather, it is the soft skill, yeah, technologies, and mindset. So on that note, thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Abdul Razak, for that inspiring, insightful, and informative presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give a big round of applause for Professor Dr. Abdul Razak. Thank you, Professor. So from your presentation, we can conclude that actually business sustainability is a function of business management skill sets, soft skills, technology, and entrepreneurial mindset, which consists of leadership, creativity, and innovation, and that the acquisition of soft skills, technologies, and entrepreneurial mindset are the prerequisites for business sustainability. Thank you so much, Professor Abdul Razak. Thank you so much. We have to save the Q&A sessions in the last part, and we have to move to the second speaker is Professor Tri Agus Siswoyo, M. Agriculture, PhD from University of Jember. Professor Tri Agus, time is yours. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we start with the second presentation from Professor Tri Agus Siswoyo, M. Agriculture? Yes, thank you. PhD from University of Jember. Let me read first his curriculum vitae. Professor Tri Agus Siswoyo, SP, M. Agriculture, PhD in 1995, completed the Bachelor of Agriculture program at the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Jember. The master program, M. Agriculture, was completed in 1999, and the doctoral program, PhD, was completed in 2002 at Applied Biochemistry Graduate School of Agriculture and Biological Sciences from Osaka Prefecture, University, Japan. Since 1998, he has been a lecturer and researcher at the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Jember. His research focus are finding bioactive protein or peptides from local resources and developing them to produce protein-based supplement materials, nutraceutical. Several research results have been published in journals both national and international, seminars, both national and international, and patents. He is also an active member in professional associations, Indonesia Protein Society, Indonesian Association of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, Asia Pacific Protein Association. Since 2014, he has earned the title of professor in biochemistry. He is currently the chair of the Graduate School for Biotechnology and chair of the Center of Excellence on Crop Industrial Biotechnology. So, Professor Tri, are you ready? So, Professor Tri, the floor is yours. Thank you. Of course.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. This one is first time I come to UBM. Yeah. Thank you very much for committee invite me to presentation in this event. Maybe different with the speaker before, Prof. Indrawati and Prof. Rosat. I will present it with the basic science. Yeah, basic science. Maybe I hope the audience have a relation with our field. Yeah. Today I would like to talk about the one of part of our research about the potential of locally sourced Indonesian protein plants to produce nutraceutical compound. As introduced the moderator, I'm from the Jember University, and now I'm the head of the Center of Excellence of Crop Industrial Biotechnology. Next, please. Yeah, it's very difficult for me to correlation to SDGs, but as the purpose as our research is how to support the hungry. Yeah, as the SDGs maybe number 2, yeah, zero hunger. Yeah. Number 2, as we know that the more than 820 million or 1 of 9 people, a child, will be died going to hungry, and 45% for all the child will be malnutrition, yeah, poor nutrition. It is a problem with our development of our child. And then, next please. Yeah, zero hunger. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 target for the zero hunger. This is maybe as said with the speaker before, Professor Indrawati, that it's very difficult to make goal of the purpose of the zero hunger. Maybe almost generally 20% is on the track, but that the purpose is out of the track. But we know that maybe last not so clear. We must make like the innovation about the use the natural resource, yeah, to support of the hunger. But you know that the food security is our time. It's not only matter about the quantity, but we also focus in quality. Yeah. And the second, unhealthy diet have now become to lead risk factor of disease and death will life. And the third, this I give the right, there is no urgent need to make healthy, sustainable diet, overall of access to everyone. This one, the point must be focused in this area. Next, please. So, what can we all do? Yeah. And then in the bottom, you can read that the consumer or the member of household, we can make personal decision to improve family nutrition. This means that the decision for giving the nutrition or increasing of nutrition from consumer or household. Next, please. Yes. I remember with the father of modern medicine that he said that let your food be your medicine and let your medicine be your food. It's a base of the development of the nutraceutical. As you see in this slide, how to make the nutraceutical. Nutraceutical is the intercept for food and pharmaceutical. Yeah. And you say that the food gives the nutrition and pharmaceutical give the drug. And the interception, how to the prefection using nutraceutical. It means nutraceutical have the nutrition also and drug. Next, please. And almost nutrition and drug source from the plant. As you say that all the nutrition, food and pharmaceutical in plant. In the plant, we can find the bioactive peptide, polysaccharide, protein, essential fatty acid, phenolic compound, probiotic, terpene, and mineral. So we can know that that the protein and the peptide have the second. Yeah. And then we focusing in our research, focusing in how to development of the protein of peptide. This is the plant protein market or value that by type, you know, the protein concentration, protein isolate, texture protein, and the by source, many plant diseases, soy, wheat, and another vegetable protein we can found. And by application, animal feed, food ingredient, and pharmaceutical. And impact analysis, we can know that the GHG of the 7.90% during 2080 to 2026. And then, as you know, the ASEAN of the ASEAN Pacific and North ASEAN have the increasing of the consume of the protein. This very potential for our how to the development of the protein and peptide. Next slide, please. Yeah, why we choose of the protein? Have the protein have the generic characteristic, but they are the most complex or most diverse in chemical composition, covering up onto the different tissue, and they are the most important for biological substance in the fundamental constitutive of cell cytoplasm, and they supplement not only heat or energy, but they also material for building and repair. And then, unlike the carbohydrate and lipid, only small amount of protein is temporarily stored in body, and we can quickly use up on demand. Next, please. And we can introduce also high potential application of the protein. Yeah. As you know that I said that almost the nutrition and the drug source from the plant, and then we can know that the many plant have the composition of the protein also, lipid and another, And we can use that all of result from the vegetable, fruit, or another, use the bioactive protein or peptide. And from the bioactive protein peptide, we know effect on human health and also effect on food quality. This is very important to why you use the protein. In effect of human health, we can know that they have effect of anti-hepatitis, antimicrobial, so on, and also effect on food quality, better sensuality quality, and cell life and increase. Next, please. Also, this one why use the protein, and which protein are relevant, and systematic activity smaller than better. It means that the last is the smaller the better. It means that the peptide have the small amino acid sequence have high activity than the complex of the protein. It means we must to make the modification of the protein to increasing of the quality of protein. Next slide, please. This our experience is our member that have the strategy to make active peptide discovery. We have two parts to increasing of the bioactive peptide. First, conventional approach, and the second is in silico approach. This divide two strategy. In conventional approach, we know that from the screening, isolation, character peptide, and then potential and another. This one use the conventional approach if we unknown protein from the plant, animal, or human unknown protein. We can use the conventional approach. If we know the protein, like the information from NCBI on gene bank or protein bank, we can use the in silico approach. In silico approach, we can more fast to modify it of the protein than the conventional approach. But as I said, we can choose which one is better depend with the information of protein or a peptide. Next slide, please. This our experience, workflow and schematic representation of bioactive peptide from melinjo seed. I maybe from graduation year 2002 from the Japan. I want to initiation to know the local source from Indonesian original from plant, Indonesian plant, sorry. I choose the melinjo. Why I choose the melinjo? This one is the the special plant. Yeah.
Sorry, Professor, 2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. Okay, I will pass. Yeah, this my experience. We use the conventional approach from the isolation for melinjo tree and the melinjo seed, and we isolation of peptide and identification of protein using the multi-top MS to know how to what kind of the protein, and then we found that it is unknown protein. It means it's new protein from the melinjo seed, and then we can use the docking simulation. Yeah, docking simulation after we sequencing of the peptide, and then test the bioactive, and we got the peptide active. Next. Yeah, ini in silico approach. As I say, if information is completed, we can directly use it modeling to know the active of the peptide. Next slide, please. Yeah, the strategy for our how to produce the protein using the technology of genetic engineering. We use the instead of the peptide to rice, tobacco, and the bacteria, all the technology will be produced in plant, tobacco, also in bacteria to produce the bioactive peptide. Next. Yeah, this using the produce using the microbial adenosine converter enzyme peptide inhibitor. It means the antibiotics of the peptide. Yeah, we also the found of the peptide. Next slide, please. Also, we characterize and then we found that the peptide have more increase than the synthetic compound. Next slide, please. This also produced in angiotensin peptide in rice, and we use from the cows, and then transformation of the plant and the produce of the peptide in plant. Especially this our research, the expression of protein special to in the sperm, not in all the tissue, all the from root, stem or leaf, but special in the sperm. Next slide, please. Yeah, also in peptide, using the melinjo have the potential as anti-cancer. This one is to know how to be activity. Next slide, please. Yeah, the result of the technology innovation from melinjo peptide, we have the collaboration with the one of the company in Japan. He very interesting with our patent to use, and then this 1, 2, 3, 4, this the produce that's our laboratory of our research center. Next, the last we want to announcement that my professor and then our colleague from Japan, Korean also in our member in Jember University. I think for all. I'm sorry, the last part is very fast because it's very limited time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Tri Agus for your agriculture PhD. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for Professor Tri Agus. So from his presentation, we can conclude that the food security in our times isn't only a matter of quantity, it's also a question to quality. Unhealthy diets have now become a leading risk factor for disease and death worldwide. There is an urgent need to make healthy and sustainable diets affordable and accessible to everyone. Thank you so much once again, Professor Tri Agus. We would have to save the question and answer sessions in the last sessions. Thank you so much, Professor Tri Agus and also Professor Dr. Abdul Razak. Thank you so much for the second session. Maybe will be led by Miss Rahmawati. Miss Rahmawati, time is yours.
Cek. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah. Good morning. Yeah, still morning, right? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the second main session. Please sit tight and sit happily. We're gonna continue our discussion with different perspective. The first session we already discussed about the aspect of economic and finance from Professor Abdul Razak, and also from the basic science, from the science and technology from Professor Tri Agus Siswoyo. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, both of you who already joined virtually and also directly in this room, we would like to continue for the second main session. And in this session, we already have with us our two prominent speakers. The first one is Professor Siva Ramamurthy. Good morning, Professor Siva Ramamurthy. Could you hear us clearly? Hello? Good morning, Professor Ramamurthy. Can you hear us?
Good. Yeah, I could hear you. Hope you could hear me. Could
you
hear me?
All right, we can hear you clearly. Good morning, Professor Siva Ramamurthy. Thank you for joining us in this international conference. And the second speaker, we already have Professor Jaco Barkhausen from the University of Limpopo, South Africa. Good morning, Professor Jaco Barkhausen. How are you there?
Good morning. I'm good. Good morning. I hope you guys can hear me as well.
All right, thank you so much for joining us in the second main session. So ladies and gentlemen, in this main session, we still have some aspects to discuss. And before we start, I would like to read the curriculum vitae for our two prominent speakers. The first one, I would like to start with Professor Sivara Marmorty. Professor Sivara Marmorty is one of the distinguished professor from the Vellore Institute of Technology in India. Now he is the principal investigator in the Department of Biotechnology, School of Biosciences and Technology, Vellore Institute of Technology in India. Previously, he graduated from Plant Science Madurai Kamaraj University in India, as well as in the same major for his master degree. While for the PhD degree, he graduated from Plant Biotechnology from Bharati Dasan University in India. I think for the expertise of Professor Sivara Marmorty in line with the Professor Tri Agustiswoyo. And the next speaker, we will have the Professor Jaco Beckhausen. He is one of the professor in the criminology and psychology from the University of Limpopo, South Africa. Both of our speakers in this second session are the prominent speakers and would like to deliver some essential aspect in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. And for the first session, we would like to hear from the Professor Sivara Marmorty regarding the role of food security, what's the challenges and what are the solutions that we can provide or generate. And after that, we continue to talk about another perspective regarding the still the SDGs aspect, but in terms of the criminology and also the psychological aspect from Professor Jaco Beckhausen. So, without further ado, let's start with the discussion. And in these terms, both of you, for the two speakers, each of you gonna have 30 minutes to present your materials, and then after that, we come up with the Q&A discussion and so on. And we're gonna start with the Professor Sivara Marmorty, and the time is yours.
Yeah, can you share the slides?
Yes. All right. Yeah, that's our
Yeah.
display. Yeah.
Once again, very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I am really honored to deliver a lecture for ISRM conference. And the topic SDG is very, very important topic. And my previous speakers very clearly mentioned about the important goals of sustainable development. As it was pointed out by previous speaker, there are 17 categories are there. So I am interested to work about or doing research on food security, which comes under zero hunger, that is SDG 2. So next slide, please. So basically, whenever we talk about food security, that is nothing but the availability of food, accessibility of the food, and moreover affordability of the food throughout the globe of all the people who were existing in this planet for all the time. Next slide, please. But unfortunately, the food security is a very biggest problem, and the crisis is happening because of many reasons. These are all some of the reasons which happened last couple of years. Let's say like Russia-Ukraine conflict, now Israel-Palestinian conflict. So these kind of the conflict can create damage to the food crisis. Then COVID pandemic, then climate crisis, then rising cost, all together created a sort of jeopardy for up to 828 million hungry people across the world as per WFP. So as you know, WFP is the World Food Program. So the very shocking part or threatening part is that it is keep on increasing since 2019. So before 2019 it was 135 million hunger people, but now it is 345 million people. And at least 50 million people from 45 countries are teetering the edge of famine. So this is very important aspect, and we have to take care of how to overcome the food security issue. Next slide, please. The food security cause, if you ask me, there are many reasons are there. One such, I just mentioned only 3 reasons here. We can keep moving. So the very first reason is that the world population is increasing 2 to 3% every year. Can you move the next slide so that it will be easy for them to understand? Next slide, next, yeah, next, yeah. So the population is increasing very drastically, 2 to 3% every year, and the report says that till 2050 the planet has to feed 3 more billion people. So 2050 is not far away, maybe another 27 years from now, and whoever is existing now, along with them we should feed 3 more billion people. As per Food and Agricultural Organization, it is stating that 940 million people are already starving. So they are not the beggars, they are really call it as a hidden hungers. That means they are not getting the proper macro and micro nutrients. So this is one biggest problem. The second problem is, if you want to grow the crop, winter become more cold, so which is not really a good or favorable for the crops to grow. And because of these reasons, it become more drought. And not only that, the pH of the soil will be more and salinity will be increasing. As a result, the global food production will be going down. Next slide. So as you can see that, one end we don't have a land, and another end climate is changing, then soil pH is increasing, salinity is more. So because of all those reasons, farmers couldn't able to get the yield. What you are seeing is a beautiful bug, the next slide, which is otherwise known as Diabrotica virgifera, and which has a common name as a billion-dollar bug. Next slide. So what we have seen in the previous slide, next slide. what you have seen in that slide, the previous slide, which is otherwise known as a billion-dollar bug, that one insect is more than sufficient to cause damage of billion-dollar worth by damaging only one crop called corn. So like that, there are so many pathogens which can also attack the plant, and because of that, the crop production can also reduce. So biotic factor, abiotic factor, and the pathogens. So here you can see chili plant. I don't want to go in detail, but from the right side of this slide, you can understand that from top to bottom, you have, starting from apex to the root, you have so many pathogens which can cause so many diseases. Next slide. So this time, you are seeing tomato, and tomato also you have almost 11 to 12 different diseases, and which can cause the huge damage to the tomato. And some of them can be bacteria, some of them can be fungus, some of them can be viruses, and so on. Next slide. So because of all those reasons, many farmers are suicide attempt they are making, and the report says that there is one suicide every half an hour. So this is a very, very important slide. So there is a one suicide every half an hour throughout the globe, and in fact almost 2,300 farmers quitting agriculture every day. So this is a very biggest challenging, and there should be a technology which should overcome this issue. Next slide. So this is the scenario with farmer suicide in India. I'm not going to show you in detail. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, next slide. These are all the different states. Yeah, next slide. Yeah. So these are all some of the problem. No, previous slide. Previous slide. There is previous slide. There is one more. No, I think previous slide, not. Can you go back to the previous slide if you don't mind? One more. Yes, thank you. So apart from that, sorry, next slide. There is a new challenges that is also the entire world is facing. One is that, in fact, food versus fuel. With the existing land, whether we should go for the crops which is necessary for our daily uses, like a paddy, wheat, or vegetables, whether we should grow that, or with the existing land, we should grow the crop which can be considered for as a fuel. In fact, jatropha, or so many, the crops which can give very good revenue as a biodiesel or biofuel. In fact, in India alone, there are 400,000 square kilometer is given only for growing jatropha. So with the availability of this land, whether we should go for crop like edible one, or we should go for the fuel which is necessary. This is one thing we should consider. The another one is storage facility. In fact, despite all the problem when the farmers are, growing their crop and when they are getting, how to store, because post-harvesting technology is very, very poor, not only India, throughout the globe. Because of that, there is a huge wastage. So there is a YouTube link. Those who can see there can understand the seriousness of those issues. Next slide. So now, by challenges, now we are going to see another 10 minutes about how to overcome all those problems and what are the technology can help to sort out the zero hunger or food security. And as I was mentioning earlier, the world population is predicted to reach 9.7 billion by 2050, and 70% of the calorie, whatever they are consuming, has to be increased, and there is no doubt cost of each crop will also be increased. And by 2030, almost 40% of the water will be shortage, which is very, very essential for the crops to grow. Next slide. So because of that, we require of some technological advances, and those kind of the technological should be useful for overcome those issues. Next slide. The question here is whether the technology, the solution for the next food crisis. With the resources becoming scarce and climate change diminishing the crop production by 2% per decade. Food production methods need radical transformation, and technology could be possible for the solution for it. Using some technology, the farmers can think of extraordinary production of those crops, and they can overcome the population increase or whatever the problem that they are facing. They can able to do that. But unfortunately, many farmers still rely on the guesswork or the traditional process instead of the actual data, which could help them to make a farming decision. Though the technologies are available, people are not yet having the mindset to use those technology, rather they are looking for their traditional. Next slide, please. So let's see about what are the technology. So these are all some of the technology. One is weather tracking, then robotics, then Internet of Things, then AI, the artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, etc. Let me quickly show one by one. So first see about the weather tracking. So if the technology which can predict the actual temperature of a particular region, it will really help the farmers to grow a particular crop appropriately, because weather is a crucial determinant to ascertain the best time to show, to fertilize, to spray, or to irrigate or harvest the crop. So we cannot do randomly based on the season whether there will be a flood, whether there will be a heavy rain, or whether there won't be any rain. So those kind of the prediction which is necessary for the farmers. About 90% of the crop losses are mainly because of the weather, and 25% of those losses can be avoided if you could predict the weather forecast in advance. There are many companies like John Deere, Ignita, and so many other companies are really offering the comprehensive weather based forecasting to sort out this problem. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, robotics. Robotics can also really help in a lot of way. The previous slide. Yeah. So robotics is another emerging technology which can gain attraction in the agricultural sectors. In fact, which can capable of executing all the functions whatever the human being is supposed to do, and starting from sowing to the harvesting, which can do that. But of course there is a drawback, or there is other disadvantage, is that there will be a decreasing of the job opportunities for the farmer. Nevertheless, these kind of the robotics can capable of harvesting lots of things. So the report says that the 30 human being works can be done by one robotics, at least for 8 acres in a day. So that for a huge land where it require of human resources, unfortunately when human resources are not available, in such cases the robotics can be a fantastic way to utilize. Then IoT, that is the Internet of Things. Further to IoT has gained significance across several industries, and which has now entered the farms. The IoT is turning farm into a mesh of smart sensor which is connected to a network with the help of every granular detail of the crop, soil, and livestock, and so on. And these IoT can also streamline farming the process, which can reduce the water consumption, and which can also improve the production and bottom lines. Next slide, please. So this is the slide, next slide, where you can understand that the three, whatever I have mentioned, Internet of Things, weather modeling, robotics. So there are Internet of Things, there are so many tools are there. I'm not going to give more detail about it because of lacking of time. Let's say like a CropX, glass, then small extract, all those things will come under. Then weather modeling, there are so many companies which can predict the exact weather, which is really useful for the farmer. Then robotics, which can also solve so many problems where we can, when there is a huge acres of land, when there is a less of human resources, these kind of the robotics can be a useful one. The next one.
Excuse me, Dr. Professor Siva, the remaining time is 5 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm finishing. I'm finishing.
Right, thank you.
In 2 minutes. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, that you can skip. Next slide. Yeah, move to the next slide. Just want to tell about AI and I will finish. The next slide. Yeah, these are all the infrastructure which can be, change the agricultural scenario. The next slide. Instead of greenhouse, instead of the field, greenhouse can use, and which will reduce the water consumption. Then the last one which I want to mention about the AI, that is artificial intelligence. The next slide. Yeah. Please move to the next slide. Yeah. I'm not going to give more detail about it. Just I want to show you a couple of papers from our lab. Next slide. So we recently worked on the machine learning, which could be helpful to understand the photosynthesis, because in order to have a sustainable crop development, we should have the techniques and knowledge. In fact, this is our recent paper which was published in Plant Science, which is considered as one of the best journal. The next slide. So in our paper, we clearly mention how the AI or machine learning can be useful. In fact, to make it simple, there are three ways by which the machine learning can be used: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, then reinforcement learning. So by predicting the photosynthetic efficiency and determination of CO2 fluxes, all those parameters really will help to have more production on the crop improvement. Next slide. These are all the strategies. Next slide. These are all the strategies, how it will be useful, starting from solar energy, the nitrogen content, all those things we can use that. The last, next slide. There is one more paper very recently, this year only, we published in Computers in Biology and Medicine. It is not only the crop improvement, even for the metabolites. In fact, the previous speaker very beautifully mentioned about his research on the peptide. The same way, whatever the important metabolites, which is very, very essential for sorting out some diseases or for any purposes, machine learning can be used with multi-omics technology. So next slide. These are all the way the machine learning can be useful in the multiple omics. Next slide. That one. Yeah. To conclude, the last slide. To conclude, the technology can sort out the food security in near future. There is no doubt about it. We should also think of the nutritional value of the crops, because it's not only simply producing the crops, but whatever we are getting should be nutritionally good so that the hidden hunger can be avoided. Then this technology can improve crop production, but not the quality of the food. So food habitat has to be changed, as many are diagnosed with obesity and diabetic. So with this one, I sincerely thank all of you for your patient listening. I'm very happy to answer if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Siva Ramamurthy, for your presentation. But before we continue to the next speakers, Professor Jacob Barkhuizen, we would like to give the certificate for the appreciation for the previous speakers, which will be led by Miss Dwi Wahyuning Tias.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Bapak Ibu, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite the Head of Research Institute and Community Service UPN Veteran Jawa Timur, Dr. Rashida, for the certificate handling through Professor Razak, Professor Tri, and also Professor Indra. Time is yours, Professor. Thank you. Professor Razak, we would like to invite you for the certificate handling.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for waiting, and we would like to continue for the second speakers. In this occasion, we already have Professor Jaco Barkhausen from University of Limpopo, South Africa. Before he delivered the materials discussion, I would like to read his curriculum vitae. Professor Jaco Barkhausen graduated from the Tokiwa University in Japan. In that university, he got his PhD sponsored by Max Scholarship, and previously he already graduated from the Bachelor of Art degree with the majors in the psychology and also the criminology aspect from University Port Elizabeth and also the University of Pretoria. And the current position from the Professor Jaco Barkhausen is as the head and full professor in the Department of Criminology at the University of Limpopo, South Africa. So, good morning, Professor Jaco. Are you already there?
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you. All right,
Okay.
so Professor Jaco, you have 30 minutes to deliver your materials, and then after that we come up with the Q&A session. Thank you. And now the time is yours.
Thank you very much. Let me just get to my presentation. So, I was asked
It's
to
still loading, yeah.
do a presentation on the ideal regulatory model for cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence to combat and prevent economic crimes. Now, I did it from a criminological and victimological point of view, as I'm a victimologist by training and I'm a criminologist and also a psychologist. Okay, so first we have to define artificial intelligence, and the previous speaker already alluded to blockchains and stuff like that, and machine learning. So artificial intelligence, or AI, refers to the development of computer systems and algorithms that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. It's machines that we try to make think like us. So these tasks include reasoning, learning, problem solving, understanding natural language, to recognize patterns and to make decisions. So it's basically human, artificial human-like cognitive functions. And AI can be categorized into two types. You have the narrow, or also called weak AI. The systems are designed and trained for specific tasks or domains. This usually a well-defined task, but it lacks what we wouldn't call general intelligence. For example, Siri, if you have an iPhone, Google Assistant, so it's recommendation algorithm like recommendation algorithms on e-commerce platforms. So if you order on Amazon or AliExpress, it starts to recognize what you order and then suggest. And then we've all had that beautiful experience with AI-powered chatbots where you talk and then you think you're talking to a human, but eventually you figure out it's either a dumb human or a chatbot, and then it's usually just a chatbot. Then the other one is strong AI, or general AI. Represents an AI system with ability to understand, learn, and then after learning to apply this knowledge across a wide range of tasks. This is more like human intelligence. We're busy with stuff like that, but it's not fully working yet, because human intelligence is actually complex. And there's a lot of subfields in artificial intelligence. We've heard about machine learning, then natural language processing. This is your ChatGPT. University lecturers know how we fear ChatGPT now. Computer vision, robotics, and expert systems. Machine learning plays a significant role in AI development by enabling systems to improve their performance on tasks by analyzing the data and patterns. And you'll find artificial in diverse fields. You find it in Tesla's and the new autonomous where supercomputers help to diagnose. Even in our financial services, recommendation systems, and in fraud detection, you can have AI helping detect fraud. So it can help industries transform, it can improve efficiency and solve complex problems. However, like any new technology, it's a double-edged sword. It raises ethical and societal consideration, including issues related to bias, privacy. What does privacy mean in a society where AI rules? We have to talk about victimization, victims of technology, and of course job displacement, which require careful management and regulation. Now, because this paper that I was told to talk about includes cryptocurrency, so we have to look at what is cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is a digital or a virtual form of currency that relies on cryptographic techniques to secure and verify transactions, control the creation of new units, and then to ensure the integrity of a decentralized ledger known as a blockchain, which was talked about before. And unlike normal or traditional or fiat currencies, the currency in your bank, the notes you can physically touch, issued by governments and central banks, cryptocurrencies operate on a decentralized network of computers known as nodes, where transactions are recorded in a transparent and immutable manner. Apparently, it's not always like that. So digital assets are typically designed to be resistant to censorship, fraud, and counterfeiting, which is important if you think about economic crimes. And they often serve as a medium of exchange, value, or a unit of account within online ecosystems or part of emerging financial systems. It leverages public and private key cryptography to facilitate secure ownership and transfer of assets, and their value may be subject to market fluctuation, driven by factors such as supply and demand, dynamics, adoption, and investor sentiment. In one hand, that's good. On the other hand, like normal currencies, like a normal Indonesian rupiah trade or rand trade, it can crash. And here I refer to the recent Bitcoin crash and the recent fly-by-night crypto trading platforms that are now crashing, and one of the guys are now facing criminal charges in America. So because cryptocurrency rely on blockchain, we need to understand what blockchain is. So it's a distributed and decentralized digital ledger technology that employs cryptographic techniques to record a chronological and immutable series of transactions across a network of interconnected computers or nodes. Please just note that you would still need the internet. So if you're in a country with a low adoption or slow internet, like developing a really still developing nation, as we talk about SDGs, having cryptocurrencies and AI will be more difficult to have, because if your internet adoption and your internet speed is too low, it makes it difficult. So each blockchain contains a collection of transactions, and these blocks are linked together in a chain through cryptographic hashes of the previous block, creating a continuous and secure ledger of data. So you cannot have a hash before the previous hash or the previous hash, which is secure. It's transparent, it's secure, and it enables the participants to validate and agree upon the contents of the ledger without the need of an overlooking central authority. A blockchain may be public, allowing open access to all, or private. So you can have private blockchains or restricted to a specific group of participants. Here we can have blockchains in banks. If banks really want to fight economic crime, why can't our money in the banks be secured in a blockchain so that no one can actually steal our money? Now, talking about that, now I have to talk about cryptocurrency, talking about economic crimes, because the whole talk you guys said to me was about AI and cryptocurrency and economic crimes. So economic crimes, also called financial crimes or white-collar crimes, the category of unlawful someone is talking, thank you, typically involving deceit, fraud, and manipulation of financial systems. It's usually committed by individuals, organizations, or entities with intent to obtain financial gain, evade financial responsibilities, or undermine the integrity of economic and financial systems. It can be, like I said, it can be committed by individuals or organizations or entities in South Africa. We recently came out of something called state capture, where certain politicians and their friends captured or influenced certain state departments and economic systems to benefit themselves. So it's just not just individuals, it can be groups, it can be political parties themselves. So economic crimes encompass a wide range of illicit activities, for example, embezzlement, which happened in South Africa on a grand scale, money laundering, tax evasion, insider trading, securities fraud, bribery. If you bribe a policeman or someone in government, cybercrime, and other forms of corruption like state corruption, it often involves complex financial transactions, misrepresentation, concealment of information, or abuse of positions of trust and authority. Here again, we can look at South Africa. Now, the investigation and prosecution of economic crimes are usually require specialized knowledge in finance, accounting, law, and government regulatory compliance due to the intricate and multifaceted nature of how people move money around, how people try to conceal movement of money. So, addressing economic crimes is a critical aspect of maintaining the integrity and stability of financial markets and economic systems. Because the moment your economic system goes, if you look at the SDGs, the influence on the SDGs is people will not have money for food. Food production is then not a priority. Education falls. So it has a huge impact on society. So let's talk about the cost of economic crimes and economic victimization. So there's a direct financial cost, which is financial losses. Right? There's direct financial losses for victims. People don't have the money in the bank account which they had, or their assets is certainly suddenly not the same amount as it was. And theft, fraud, embezzlement, and cybercrime. The investigation and legal cost of investigating economic crimes and prosecuting offenders can be expensive. Here I refer again, you need specialized units, specialized training, specialized courts, judges trained in understanding the evidentiary value of certain things. Compliance and security costs. Organizations often need to invest in compliance and security measures. Here we can look at banks, insurance companies, even universities. That you need these security systems in place so people don't abuse the system and enrich. National Financial Task Group as a country, which makes it difficult for the country to borrow money from international organizations. And if we are allowed, the interest is higher than, for example, for Indonesia to borrow money because you're not gray listed. And then resource division, the country then has to spend more of its resources away from productivity activities to allocate funds and personnel to deal with security, investigation, and compliance. And of course, there is a psychological cost to economic victimization and economic crimes. Stress and anxiety. If you ever have been a victim of crime, and especially economic crime, you will experience stress because it's money. You need money to function in society. You have anxiety. Where's my next paycheck coming from? Where will I get the money that I've lost? And this usually have personal consequences and also familiar, especially if you're the only breadwinner in a family. Suddenly you have less money due to an economic victimization. It has a massive effect on that. And then, of course, loss of trust. And here we can look at South Africa. You lose trust in individuals, organizations, and governments, and also in the financial system. And that impacts social relationships and business interactions. People do not, in South Africa, the social relationship with government and with law enforcement is extremely low. There is no trust because of what happened. That has a knock-on effect on society. And then there's, of course, long-term economic consequences, reputational damage for a country or for a company. Then the loss of intellectual property. If someone steals your business idea and benefits from that, you don't get that back. And then government costs. If we look at the SDGs, enforcement and legal costs. So the government has to use money that could have been spent on something else to go after this type of economic crimes and economic victimization, and that will have social welfare costs, especially in the case where victims suffer significant financial hardships. Governments might have to provide social welfare support, which further burdens public finances and the social welfare system that the government has to fund. And of course, then there is a global impact. Financial crimes usually have cross-border implications. And your global reputation as an institution or a government is then worse and has big implications. So the ideal regulatory model for cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence to combat and prevent economic crimes. So after you guys gave me this as a topic, which by the way could be a Nobel Prize winning topic here, I sat and thought, and I read a lot, and I looked at economic victimization and the effects, and I looked at how governments usually address crime. Now the problem with any crime in a country, for something to become a crime, governments first need to realize it's a crime, right? And then governments, usually through parliament or acts of parliament, writes legislation that recognizes this is an illegal activity and then gives sanctions. So the problem with that is governments are slow, and you know that. Something that becomes a crime now doesn't mean it's just suddenly a crime. It's been a form of victimization for years, probably, but only after a while does governments then enact legislature or acts to make a certain action illegal. So the victims, before it becomes an act or a crime as legally defined, is ignored, and it only applies from that point forward. And this is how we can use AI to combat, have them draft stuff, have AI recognize through machine learning that certain actions have a detrimental effect on humans. But here's my idea, and we can talk about it. Like economic crimes is complex and it evolves. It's like a virus. The moment you think you know how to beat one type of economic crime, it evolves like a virus to something else. Like COVID, you had an alpha variant, now we're a variant, whatever. So it evolves. And you need to strike a balance between fostering innovation using AI and cryptocurrency and to ensure the security and integrity of your financial systems. Because in other words, it's a free-for-all. So what if we do draft legislation to have AI and cryptocurrency help us lessen the chances of economic crimes? It should be risk-based. So the regulation needs to be based on the risk profile of different cryptocurrencies and AI applications. High-risk activity should face stricter regulations. So if you're going to use artificial intelligence to look at country security, border control, it needs stricter regulation, so to prevent a type of bias, while low-risk activity should have more flexibility. This is, for example, you're going to use artificial intelligence to run your traffic lights in a big city. So that doesn't need a lot of regulations, and that should be more flexible. And transparency and disclosure. So transparent reporting and disclosure requirement for cryptocurrency projects and AI companies. Clear information about who owns this, what are their financials, and what algorithms are used in these AI systems. Is it hackable? Is it secure? Then I'm going to talk about AML and KYC compliance. So you have to enforce stringent anti-money laundering and know your customer regulations for cryptocurrency exchanges and artificial intelligence-driven financial services to prevent illegal activities like money laundering and terrorist finance. And here I want to pause and talk about how desperately needed this is currently. I've been doing research on the dark web and payments on the dark web. And you can buy nearly anything on the dark web. And cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Ethereum, those are the currencies that are used. Terrorists themselves or terrorist groups are using this blockchain currencies, these cryptocurrencies to move money around, to finance, to buy weapons on the dark web. So we need to have a way to make sure that that it's difficult to use cryptocurrency to launder money. In South Africa, anecdotal research has been showing that we're going through a time where there's a lot of kidnapping of high net worth individuals or their families, and what the kidnappers usually demand is either a cash payment or a payment in a crypto currency that is then moved so quickly in and out of South Africa that there's no way for the police to really track it. Cybersecurity standards. Your country needs, or the legislation needs, cybersecurity standards for all exchanges and AA system to, we talked about this, to safeguard against hacking and data breaches. Countries should demand that security audits are done on these companies to make sure that your information as a client or as a citizen is not being used. Then data privacy, and this is again something that people smarter than me still need to talk about, is what is data privacy? How long should your data be used? How long can data be stored? You have an online version of yourself. How long can that online version exist? Does it exist for infinity as long as the internet exists, or should it also die the moment you are not alive anymore? Then market integrity. Ensure that markets know the rules so no one manipulates it. There's no insider trading as it's currently happening with normal currencies and normal government things. Then we have something called smart contract auditing, and I know most countries are going through this, or companies where you have smart contracts where you fill it in online, you fill your contract in, you electronically sign it, and it just goes away. So we need to develop systems or have legislation in place for auditing and certifying smart contracts, and then use blockchain projects to ensure they function as intended. That it's not you sign a contract with certain wording, and then when you demand the smart contract back, they've changed the wording and now you're paying more for example, insurance. So that blockchain can be used for contracts. Cross-border coordination. You can use different AI systems to promote international cooperation, coordination among police, to track all this cryptocurrencies and AI technologies, but use it also to coordinate different countries and to track how certain economic crimes are done, how human trafficking is done, have AI predict and learn how borders are vulnerable, and then use that predictions to move resources in the right direction. And then you need consumer protection, because the consumers are always at the end of it victims. So there should be dispute resolution processes, and insurance coverage for if you use an AI service. I mean, if the company says no, fill in this smart contract, it will be secure, don't worry about it, and then they get hacked and your details are used, there should be coverage for you as a victim that went through this data breach to get money from the company. And that's, it then prevents or makes companies more aware that they need to keep your data safe. And then it's also a way of compensating you as a victim for if you go through something like that.
Excuse
As
me,
a
Professor
professor,
Jacob.
we have to
Excuse me,
include
Professor
education
Jacob.
and awareness. You will have to invest in public education and awareness campaign to help individuals understand the risks and benefits of AI and cryptocurrencies. And here we can just look at our moms and dads that still struggle with smartphones. If you suddenly give them artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency, can you imagine the chaos that will create? So you need national awareness campaigns and education from a young age so that children who's growing up in this AI revolution will know how to deal with it. Then you have to have sandbox. The regulation should be sandbox. If you play computer games, you know there's some games that are called sandbox games, which means you can explore everything. If you have certain sandbox regulations, then you can test innovative AI and cryptocurrency solutions in a controlled environment, which facilitates innovation while making sure that there is laws in place for compliance. Then you have regulatory innovation. It should be, your laws should not be too restrictive. The legislation should be flexible because, like I said, technology and AI changes quickly, and your legislature should be able to also change with the time. I mean, ChatGPT, did we talk about ChatGPT 2 years ago? No. Now, and I know all the university professors sitting here, we're getting sleepless nights because if you give assignments, you're always afraid that the majority of your students will give you something back that's written by ChatGPT. And now there is new technology that picks up if an assignment is done by ChatGPT, but it's also not foolproof. So, you know, as technology changes, we need our legislation to also keep up. And we find with crime, it's always years later that the politicians wake up to this. Because usually politicians are old guys, and majority of them are men, old men trying to look at things that they don't understand. Because politicians should have retired when Moses was a baby, but hey, here we are. We need ethical artificial guidelines, so that should be part of it. Government should collaborate with industry to develop effective regulations, and then there should be enforcement and penalties. If you're going to have AI run certain things and it messes up, you have to have enforcement mechanisms and penalties for companies and governments to violate these protections to deter illicit activities. So, the regulatory landscape for cryptocurrencies and AI is continually evolving. You guys know it. Like I said, 2 years ago we didn't worry about ChatGPT. No one knew about ChatGPT. Now we're all freaking out about ChatGPT. And if you have a regulatory model that should be flexible enough to adapt to new developments in technology while maintaining core principles of security, transparency, and consumer protection, you'll have to involve stakeholders from all sectors, including government, industry, us in academia, and civil society in the process. uh, in the, and to help create a more balanced and effective framework so that AI, because look, governments will have to incorporate AI in cryptocurrency, whether they like it or not, but this is the future development of where technology is taking us. 15 years ago, we didn't think Zoom would be a thing, and here we are. I'm sitting in the morning in South Africa talking to you guys in the afternoon in Indonesia, and here we are. So in 15 years, how AI and crypto will develop, we cannot predict. But if we look at the way technology is developing, governments need to jump ahead of the curve and think how this will affect their citizens so that it reduces the amount of utilization individuals will experience. And then thank you very much.
Okay. Right, thank you so much to Professor Dr. Jacob Barkhausen for your presentation, especially in terms of the ideal regulatory model for cryptocurrency and I to combat and also to prevent the economic crimes. This is kind of another interesting perspective, especially when we talk about the economic crimes that can cause so many losses in terms of costs and also another aspects. Actually, this is like we have one question for Professor Dr. Jacob. Is this kind of model can be applied for small or medium scale enterprises? Is it feasible for them to implement this kind of model, or if not, can these small medium enterprises could produce small step that mimics this kind of models? What do you think, Professor Jacob?
Look, this type of model can be used by small medium enterprises. Look, crypto and artificial intelligence doesn't cost that much. And if you have first the government, a regulatory model designed by government that takes into consideration SMEs with assistance from the government regulatory bureaucracy, then it should be easy, and then it will, I would say crypto would also help SMEs grow. You know, because if it's stable, you cannot have your money stolen if it's in the blockchain. So this could help SME and SME development and also entrance into the SME space.
All right, so this is still feasible to be implemented in the small, medium enterprises. All right, then we all hope that in Indonesia, this would be like one of the main concerns to be executed, and we hope that this model can also be implemented efficiently in our country. Thank you so much for joining us, Professor Jacob, and also Professor Siva Ramamurthy from Vellore Institute of Technology. And due to the time limitation, we would like to conclude our discussion in this main session. Starting from the first speakers until the last speakers, we already gained so much insight, so much perspective and knowledge, and how this can be implementing in various aspects. So we hope that by discussing or by gaining this kind of knowledge, we would like to collaborate and produce more solutions to achieve the sustainable development goals. All right, and before we end this main session, we would like to give the certificate of appreciation to our last two prominent speakers. For the first, for Professor Siva Ramamurthy and also Professor Jacob Barkhausen. And for the operator, please display the certificate of appreciation that will be delivered to our speakers. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the certificate of appreciation presented for Professor Siva Ramamurti, PhD, FLS, FRS, BFRSC from Fellow Institute of Technology, India. Let's give the big applause virtually and directly. Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Siva Ramamurti. And the second certificate of appreciation is presented for Professor Jaco Barkhausen from University of Limpopo, South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us today in this international conference. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of second session. We would like to say thank you for all your participations, and we come up with the panel sessions after the lunch break. Thank you and see you in the next international seminar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mohon semua panitia bisa foto bersama. Mumpung ada Prof. Razak sama Prof. Indra ini bersama kita. Jauh-jauh Prof. Razak di sini kita ajak foto dong.
Jiwa raga
Indonesia is the most beautiful land in the universe. The land where we were born. The nation where we grew up. So many colors that live together in peace. With a million timeless treasures. With an abundance of natural wealth. Indonesia is not just wonderful. Indonesia is a wonderland.
Kota baru dunia Bamega, Bamega Bamana Pudi Salakara, Bamana Pudi Salakara. Batamu lawanlah Adinda, Adinda Imam Bidadara, Samalaya Imam Bidadara, Samalaya. Say pijer nangis anakku sing ayu rupane setiap pendekare bangsa.
Proklamasi kami bangsa Indonesia dengan ini menyatakan kemerdekaan Indonesia. Hal-hal yang mengenai pemindahan kekuasaan dan lain-lain